the Monster Manual. I know there was no intro, so there's going to be a lot of like just filling in until people join in chat. But if you're watching this back on YouTube, hey, welcome to Painting Up the Monster Manual, episode 75, where we are covering, I'm going to switch to my other camera already because this mini's so goddamn awesome, the Beholder again. So this is not the first time, obviously, that Richard and I have done this particular monster, but we figured with the edition change and from where we were when we originally did the Beholder at like episode like 30 something, I think it was, that we would like to do it again. And it's tied in nicely with our Starfinder campaign because that literal mini showed up in the show this week. And yeah, we are wanting to go through the new rules set with it. So it's going to be a session on the Beholder 2024 for this particular episode. But as always, I am joined by my friend Richard from Warrior Prince 3D. How are you, Richard?
I'm a lot better than I have been. I've now got a sort of almost functioning arm and just getting cracking with everything that's going around at the moment.
Yeah. So obviously Warrior Prince 3D's been laying in bed with you for the past sort of like so long.
Warrior Prince 3D has been on a little bit of an unfortunate hiatus, but I am back, I am bad, I am mad, and I am rocked and ready to get some printing going on the way. Thank you very much to everyone that has purchased something from the sympathy sale that I did hold while I was off. It's much appreciated, and it has managed to sort of help me clear out some of the printed stock I have.
Amazing.
The store is obviously back open now on Etsy, taking orders through Instagram, email, drop me a message if there's anything particularly you're after. I am currently working on a new website, which is just Warrior Prints, nothing through Etsy or anything like that. So we will have exclusive deals, better prices, news, updates, people that we are obviously working with. Dragonborn Industries will be there, of course. And there will be some Warrior Prince 3D merch coming as well.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. That's so very, very cool. I loved it when we got our website. It was so exciting. So I'm really excited to see yours come along. And like, you know, I'm very, very excited. Morning, Dibs. How you doing? You'll have missed it, but we were just saying there was no intro to this one because apparently StreamYard's changed their policies, and now I can't have an intro video unless I pay them. And I'm not doing it yet. But how are you all doing? We're obviously going to be painting up this Beholder, and I'm going to be using my Iwata airbrush today because I think it's going to be a case of trying to get subtle blues, and then I'm going to go for a white Beholder that kind of make it frosty. Do you know how you're going to paint yours?
I've spent all morning trying to think, and at the moment I've got topaz skin and barbarian flesh to do like round the mouth and some of the fleshy parts, and I'm looking at greys, off-whites, and a dark blue for the tips of the or like it's called intense Viking grey.
Okay.
For the tips of the eye stalks.
Fair enough. I'm going to quickly grab my book holder because I realise I'm trying to lean up against paints I'm going to end up using. So where's this miniature from?
So this one is a wonderful, wonderful little Beholder from Loot Studios. I think it's called Ziad Trax, or is the character name. But it comes as two versions. It comes with a base. I'm not sure. You haven't gone with the base, have you? So the base is a treasure pile, or it's got a rather cool throne, which is just fucking awesome.
I've gone with the throne. Which one have you gone with?
I've gone with the throne. I printed a nice throne, and I've magnetized everything at the moment.
Okay. Oh, you've magnetized.
Well, I did realize, obviously, because I printed the wrong. I said I printed the wrong version. I loaded it into the plate and didn't think. So I thought I printed you the exact same. I printed you the one-piece one, didn't I?
What, the throne?
Yeah, the throne and the Beholder.
The Beholder was in a few pieces.
It was, yeah. That's right, yeah. So I think mine's just a slightly bit bigger. So I thought, I'll magnetize everything.
Oh, nice. How big have you gone?
I think I worked it out. It's double the size of yours. Because I had two versions. I had the standard version and the 200% version, which was obviously I hollowed out. So I just loaded the plate in automatically because I've got them all saved. So yes.
Oh, nice. No, so I think I primed them. I primed white on the Beholder because I'm going to spray with some blues and then bring back the white with the dry brush and stuff. But the Throne I primed black, and I'm going to, I think, do gold, and then I'm going to do purple for the cushioning.
Yeah.
I think that's what I'm going to do.
I'm probably not going to touch the Throne. I know we are not going to get this done in the hour.
Do you think?
I know I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm going to try and do some building up of the colours, but it's I'm also trying to sort of think about what will work with the stalks and stuff like that as well, and doing different shades on it. So we shall see what happens, to be honest.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm actually going to move my book to over here because I realise as soon as I spray, it's going to go into that microphone. So obviously this is a big monster. This is something that comes up quite a lot in D&D. It's a classic trope, and there's a reason we're doing it again. Is because obviously there are new rules involved. Obviously, have you got a stat block and stuff up there as well?
I have indeed.
Okay, so obviously, like, we're looking at a CR 13 creature, which is not one of the biggest that we've had for the 2024 or the ones before, but you know, that's still nothing to be not afraid of, I guess, is the right way of saying that one. I guess we'll start the timer, then go into it. Should we do it that way round?
Rock and roll.
Okay, so if you're ready, we've got 1 hour to paint this mini. Let's go.
Let's see how we go.
Gonna just get my contrast. Do you thin down contrast when you put it through a airbrush?
Only if I'm wanting it to be a little bit more contrasty.
Okay, yeah. And I'm going to thin mine down as well. I've already realised that I've not got my water pots over here because I'm totally not set up. So obviously, like CL13, average party level of 13 for 4 players. But the trouble with the Beholder is a lot of things come down to dice rolls, which means that it's a creature of chance, and that chance is your death. And I think
I do enjoy that though quite a lot.
Oh, 100%. I am fully with you there. It's one of those creatures that they're smart, they're intelligent, they're not just monsters, they're NPCs. And to say that, like, you know, just finding one in a cave is one thing, but they are big, big baddies. And there's a reason that they're seen so often within the marketing of Dungeons and Dragons. So, first of all, I'm going to talk about the layers of them. So, Beholders lurk in cavern complexes they've carved using their eye rays deep in the Underdark or in lairs crafted by them by their servants. The region containing a Beholder's lair is twisted by its presence, creating the following effects. Scopophobia. Creatures within 1 mile of the lair feel as if they're being watched. Any creature, excluding the Beholder and its allies, that finish a short rest within 1 mile of the lair must succeed at a DC 13 Wiz save or gain no benefit from the rest. That's wild.
That's mean.
I don't think that was in 5th edition. I think that's quite new. Then we've got warping terrain. Minor warps in reality occur near the lair. Any creature, excluding the Beholder, within 1 mile of the lair makes a D20 test and rolls a 1, has the prone condition. So essentially, how often does that happen, though? Because it doesn't say minor warps in reality occur near the lair. Any creature, excluding the Beholder, within 1 mile of the lair makes a D20 test and rolls a 1, has the prone condition. I imagine that's just once per day then.
I'd like to think so.
Either way, that is quite... That one's not as bad, I don't think. The whole taking away a rest, that's bad.
That's a very different kettle of fish.
Yeah. Massively so. But moving into their stat block. So Dib says, use a purple metallic, wash type of coat on the throne cushions, it'll make it pop. Yeah, it'd be like a satin then, I guess. Could use purple people eater. So we're looking at an AC of 18, no armor. It's a large aberration, lawful evil. Has an initiative counter plus 12, and it has a HP of 190 or 20d10 plus 80, which is 280, which I think that's quite tanky for what it is when you consider what's coming up with the actions and its legendary actions.
When you consider what 4 13th level characters can do, it's not.
No, but the problem comes in its action economy, and that is because, first of all, it has legendary resistance, so 3 a day or 4 a day in its lair. If the beholder fails a saving throw, it can choose to succeed. All of its stats, by the way, are in pluses. Strength plus 3, intelligence plus 3, dex plus 2, wisdom plus 2, con plus 4, charisma plus 3. It is, it's going to be dealing a hefty amount of decent D20 rolls when you consider against things like charm or against different spells and abilities that could be used. This thing's going to be hard to get those things off against. As for its multi-attack, so these are its actions. Its multi-attack, the beholder uses its eye raise 3 times. So on its turn, it just goes beam, beam, beam. And
it's all random beams. Is it still all random beams?
Yeah, so this is the start of it. So it uses eye raise 3 times. Eye raise. The beholder randomly shoots one of the following magical rays at the target it can see within 120 feet. Roll a d10 and re-roll if the beholder has already used that ray during this round. So that's a change there. It's like if it's using a new one, right, if it uses the same one again, then you have to change it over. So that's pretty good. Just trying to get some blue on here, and I'm not being overly precise on where I'm throwing it, mostly on the underside, but I'm actually just putting a light amount of this contrast blue across most of this beholder and over the white, because I'm going to dry brush it white again in a minute, and then I'm going to throw a little bit of purple into the mouth.
What I do love about the rays as well, you say they've changed it so that you can't use the same one again.
Yeah,
that can work quite nicely both ways. One, you don't want to hurt someone too bad, and 2, you get the chance to hurt someone quite bad.
Yeah, and I mean, so the first one is the charm ray. So wisdom saving throw DC 16, which is quite low. On a failure, oh my god, actually that's way worse than it used to be. On a failure, they take 3d8 psychic damage, and the target has the charmed condition for 1 hour or until it takes damage. Success, half damage only. That didn't used to deal damage.
That didn't used to deal damage.
Paralyzing ray is a con save of DC 16, so again it's low. But then I think you would before you would choose a target and then just start throwing beams at them. So that could be, less hard actually. So con saving throw DC 16. The target is paralyzed, has the paralyzed condition, and repeats the same save at the end of each of its turn, ending the effect on a success. After 1 minute, it succeeds automatically. So 1 minute of paralyzed. If you get that up against the right character, that could be them out of the fight. Fear ray. Oh my god, DC 16, failure, 4d6 psych damage, and the target has the frightened condition until the end of its next turn. Success is half damage. Beam 4, slowing ray, constitution saving throw, 4d8 necrotic damage until the end of the target's next turn, and the speed is halved. The target can't take reactions, and it can either take an action or a bonus action on its turn, not both. Successful for half damage. So we're seeing more damage on each of the rays now,
which is nice.
Innovation ray, con save DC 16, 3d8 poison damage, and the target has the poison condition until the end of its next turn. And while poisoned, the target can't regain hit points.
Oh, that's nasty.
Yeah, success is half damage again. So, damn, that's crazy. Next one's telekinetic ray, DC 16, strength save. The beholder moves the target up to 30 feet in any direction. The target has restrained condition until the start of the beholder's next turn, or until the beholder has the incapacitated condition. The beholder can also exert fine control on objects with this ray, such as manipulating a tool or opening a door. So that one's not too bad. I thought I was going to throw somebody against the wall. Sleep ray, DC 16, target succeeds automatically if it's a construct or undead. The target has the unconscious condition for 1 minute. That ends if the target takes damage, or within 5 feet, or a creature within 5 feet if it takes an action to wake it. Petrification ray, which is number 8, con save DC 16. Restrained condition and repeats the save at the end of its next turn. If it's still restrained, ending the effect on itself on a success. Second failure, the target is petrified instead of restrained. So that one's still the same as it used to be.
Yeah.
And then disintegration ray, dex save DC 16, force damage. If the target is non-magical object or creature of magical force, 10-foot cube. Hang on. If the target is a non-magical object or creation of magical force, a 10-foot cube of it disintegrates into dust. Yeah. Success, half damage. Oh, no, hang on. Success, half damage, failures, or success. If the target is a creature and the damage reduces it to 0 hit points, it disintegrates into dust. So that one's still the same, but 8d8 is pretty big. And then Death Ray, DC 16, 10d10 necrotic damage, half damage on a success, failure or success. The target dies if the ray reduces it to 0 hit points. So no death saves.
Outright dead.
So it's still pretty beastie. I actually don't think some of that's as bad, but some of it's worse. We then got the bonus action of the anti-magic cone. Beholder's central eye emits an anti-magic wave in a 150-foot cone. Until the start of the beholder's next turn, the area acts as anti-magic field. So basically, no magic items or spells in that ray. And it doesn't work against the beholder's own eye rays. Legendary actions. This has changed. So, legendary actions used to be that the beholder could take eye ray attacks against people.
I say one random eye ray, wasn't it?
Yeah. Now, so legendary action 3 or 4 in a layer. Immediately after another creature takes a turn, the beholder can expend the use to take one of the following actions. Chomp. The beholder makes 2 bite attacks. 2 bite attacks. I hit glare. The beholder uses eye rays. That's eye rays is that randomly shoots an eye again, but that chomp is mad. The bite attack is.
Let's have a look. Chomp, the beholder makes 2 bite attacks. A bite attack is what?
Plus 8 to hit, 5-foot reach, 3d6 plus 3.
Be a bit of fun.
So it's got a lot going on, especially if those melee classes get right in. Is that the beholder, that other than servants and underlings, a solitary creature, something to do with them being they are unique and the only creatures of its type? They are xenophobic, and they constantly believe they are the absolute zenith of beholders, and they are hugely territorial. And if another beholder, I believe, gets within,
they will kill it or try to.
Yeah, basically. So beholders are known as eye tyrants, number among the notorious inhabitants of the Underdark. Few creatures in the multiverse are loathed and feared as these maniacal horrors. Beholder's distinctive globular body is dominated by oversized maw and a gigantic central eye. 10 stalks ending in similar eyes crown its form. From each of these 11 eyes, a beholder can unleash different magical powers. The central eye can deactivate magic, while the smaller eyes emit rays that inflict various dooms. Trying to find where it is. Beholders possess utterly alien minds. Most exhibit paranoid, narcissistic, and megalomaniacal tendencies, and they act on agendas beyond humans' reasonings. While some keep themselves, others force weaker creatures into their service. Still, others cultivate grand ambitions, creating networks of minions to manipulate groups, settlements, and whole nations in the Underdark, and sometimes in the surface world. Few creatures loathe beholders more than other beholders. Every beholder views itself as the physical and intellectual pinnacle of its species. To them, all of the beholders are aberrant rivals to be dominated or destroyed. Conflict between beholders can last for decades or lay waste to vast subterranean realms. Beholders are a particular threat to adventurers because both gravitate towards mysterious ruins and the sites of great magic. And many beholders collect the magic items and petrified bodies of heroes they defeated, displaying them as trophies. There you go. So I'm going to grab a little bit of Doomfire Magenta and add it to my blue in the airbrush. And then I'm going to try and do the inside of the mouth. How's yours going?
Getting all the fleshy bits all right.
How are you going to do the eyes?
So the main central eye, I'm doing a weird thing with the puddle stuff, and I'm thinking either green or purple. I'm not too sure yet.
Fair enough.
The other eyes, see, I'm weird with the eyes on a beholder. I like to think the eyes are multicolored on the right on the rays, the eye stalks, because of each different ray.
Yeah, it's fair enough.
But I might just do some red. I don't know yet, to be honest. So it's one of those things. I knew I wasn't going to get to the eyes in this session, as it were. So I'm trying to get what I want on the actual flesh done. And basically, I'm just spraying and praying at the moment.
So what's everybody else out there today? Oh, I oversprayed quite a bit there.
Have you ever used a beholder? In classical D&D.
I don't think I had. I had one in a story of a campaign, but they never happened across it. It was kind of in the background pulling some strings.
Yeah.
Obviously, I used the Mecha Beholder this week in Starfinder.
Spoiler alert.
You don't know where it's going to come up. It's fine.
No, I really don't.
It was... I've had that in play from the start, knowing that what it would be, where it would be, and I've known that since we painted it.
First stream.
Yeah, because I said I'm going to use this in Starfinder. I'm doing the usual, painting some old Warhammer Games Workshop models, a few Zombicide ones, and a couple of really old metal ones from 1977. Nice one, Devs. So apart from it looks like it's eating a load of blueberries at the moment.
Oh, fucking hell, that looks awesome.
Now I'm going to go in and try and paint over the everything else with that white and bring it down, or I might actually do... No, I'm going to do the white first.
Mine just looks pink. I don't know if you can see the difference in the two tones at the moment.
I like that you're going with like flesh colours, though. Right. Morning, Spice. I'm mainly watching YouTube. Richard sent me another beholder, and I think I've got a couple to do for Grey. Nice. So, yeah, have you put a beholder in yet?
Yes, I have.
How did that go down?
It was one of the most fun fights ever, and interesting to see how people sort of dealt with it. I dropped several players. I think I nearly got a player death, but they managed to get him back up.
Good.
But it was a fun one because obviously beholders they fly. It was in a beholder lair, So it had the eyes popping up all throughout effectively the dungeon as they came down.
Nice.
But yeah, it was one of the first sort of big fights I think Rhiannon had, and she was a fighter. Yeah, she was a fighter, so couldn't hit it. Threw weapons at it, ended up doing this and that. But she had a griffin she could summon temporarily to fly. So basically, she took damage for the griffin to grip her by the shoulders and fly her up.
Yeah, that's cool. See, I like that. So, yeah, we're painting Beholder Spice. I'm going to try and get mine looking nice and frosty, but I wanted to throw, using the water, some blue on it first, and then get some purple in the mouth, and we look like we've just had a good time with some grapes. I'm going to go quite heavy on the dry brush for the white. Because, again, I really want to bring back that white colour to it and let the blue sit in the recesses. What are you up to today, Spice? Anthony R, hello there. Welcome in. We are currently trying to paint up some beholders. We've got 40 minutes left to see if we can get these tabletop ready. I don't think that's going to happen today with this one. But we'll see.
Is that Mr. Royals?
Is that Mr. what?
Mr. Royals.
I don't know. It says Anthony R. It's my day off, says Spice. Cleaning the house before some Starfinder tonight. Groceries, chores, nothing exciting. Anthony R says it is.
Hey, dude, how you doing?
Realise that the music's not playing. There we go. Nice to have a day off, though, Spice. How goes the campaign? Haven't caught up. Ages. I was going to, after your advice, to be like, and Joe's advice to be like, don't worry about catching the other episodes, jump in later on. I'm probably going to do that. Again, just trying to get even more of that Praxeti white across. Especially like the tops of the eye stalks. Any like really deep blue bits. I just want that to show underneath. We're gearing up for the final arc. Our Starfinder days are numbered. Are you getting ready for 2E? Obviously, there's a big... Obviously, that's now happening. Core rulebook comes out next month. Some people already have theirs. I don't. 30 more sessions. What are you going to say, Richard?
I could have sworn you had the second edition.
No, I've got the Galaxy Guide, but that's it. It was like a teaser book, really, more than anything. But no pre-release for us. That's fine. I think we've got about 2.5 arcs. We've got the one that they're currently on, and then I think there's only 2 more arcs left for us as well. And then we'll be going to 2E for our second campaign. Vampire the Masquerade next. Nice.
Oh, I love a bit of Masquerade.
Yeah, it's very cool. The Alberon guys will pull it off really well as well. Okay, so we now have that white over everything. I'm going to let that dry off before I do anything, and I'm going to try and dry brush gold all over that throne, and then I'll do the cushions. Where's my old faithful Retributor armor? There it is. Has Richard got enough paint in the background there? No. No, he does not.
Who's having a go at my paint?
It was Anthony R.
I could do with a few more.
So when do you expect the Warrior Prince website to be up and running then?
Basically, I'm aiming to be completely up and running by the end of next month.
Amazing.
I'm wanting to secure a couple of pieces. I've got hopefully some nice artwork coming. I have reached out to the wonderful Steph to help me out with a bit of a Warrior Prince bit.
Nice.
Which would be nice to get on the actual site. And it's also sort of learning how to build through the builder, as it were, to utilize with as much information as possible.
Yeah.
So I want to try and get links to everything else, especially like, other people on the Instagram, yourselves, gals and pals, and have just as much as I can up on there.
Nice. Yeah, that's really cool. Right. I think Midnight City here. I'm going to start spinning that up. At the same time, I'm going to throw it all over the floor. Right, am I going to use Midnight City? That might be too blue. Yeah, I think that's too blue. So I'm going to take Dibs' advice and use a metallic purple.
You go for that on the throne?
Yeah.
I've managed to airbrush a bit of the grey for the more sort of plated bits and pieces on the armour. What do you reckon?
Oh, look at that. Let me bring you up to full screen. That's cool. Are you putting the eye in separately?
Yes. So this bit pops out.
I glued mine in.
I've just magnet locked mine in.
Oh,
because I also want the eye to move.
That's sick.
So I might even drill a hole in the eye to put a magnet in it to sort of be able to move it with a magnet.
That's very cool.
But we'll see how brave I feel.
I just want purple people eater.
Well, a big pink purple eater.
The only problem with the turbo door being like all black bottles pretty much.
It's really hard to see what they are.
Yeah. Yeah, very much so.
Tell you what,
right.
Put these on a bloody airbrush thing is a pain in the ass.
I bet. So Dib says, you can never have too many paints, and I sent you a pic a little while ago of the throne. I did the same way. Probably. Right. Let's see. I'm going to empty out. Some of that purple onto the throne as a base.
I would be gutted if I didn't have the colour I needed. I try to only select from the shelves.
So, let's get that away. Clean out. There. Still got 32 minutes. How you doing?
Not bad. I'm applying the light grey to the eye stalks. I keep wanting to say tentacles.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that.
Now, one thing I would like to sort of ask you about. So, Beholders. Now, I've loved Beholders since I was a kid because I used to watch my dad play Eye of the Beholder on the PC.
Yeah.
What was your first sort of introduction to big mythical D&D creatures?
I think dragons were the first, like, and not just in the sense that they use children's storybooks and stuff like that, but even like, I think even the name Dungeons and Dragons, I think I just remember like an old 80s or 70s news report, and it's like just people talking about like moving their minis. I remember like somebody moving like a dwarf, like a metal dwarf mini that was like almost like a chess piece. And then a guy was like, yeah, then I'd put the dragon down here, and that's obviously where the encounter would start. So everyone's going to roll initiative for me, please. I remember it being really dry and boring, but I remember seeing the dragon and thinking,
shit,
yeah, that's pretty cool. There's some mint airbrush holder in. That's literally, so it was the stand for a cake stand that had a big glass disc on the top of it. They separated. The glass disc became a dice polishing stand for me, and it had a nice big hole in the top of it. So I put some hot glue around it and went in there. So I think dragons were kind of first, but I mean, the Beholder's kind of iconic for the monster manual. I do like a gelatinous cube. But I don't really.
So you are fond of your old cubes, aren't you?
Yeah, I do like an ooze, but I don't remember what was like my first, without just when I first dived into D&D, what that was. It probably was the gelatinous cube. I think that's probably like, I want to eat it, I want to be inside it, I want it inside me. It's a mutual relationship. And
it's a whole lot of love going on right there.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's probably. How about you, though? Was it Eye of the Beholder?
It was Eye of the Beholder and Ravenloft. Because I used to watch my dad play them years and years and years ago.
Yeah, I mean, because I stayed away from high fantasy for so long.
Yeah, you muggled it for quite a long time, didn't you?
I really did. It was really quite impressive how far I got along in life avoiding this. And for God knows what reason other than my own
idiocies.
Yeah. That's a really good question that I don't know an answer to. I like that. What about you guys out there? Like, what was like your first like D&D monster that you were like, whoa? I've certainly got like favourites. Like I love a goblin. But I don't care what anybody says, they are monsters.
Is that goblins?
Yeah. You might love them, but they are monsters.
No, fuck yeah, they are. Ain't no way around that, unfortunately.
No, at all in the slightest. Tiamat in the cartoon. Yeah, fair enough.
Oh, yes. Yeah, the old classic.
Yeah. Okay, let's get this purple through this airbrush and see what happens.
See what happens, like.
Not sure if it's going to go all that well because it is quite thin still. And I only put like a dark purple base on it. I might actually take the time to dry brush on some purple.
Yeah.
Just to give it a little bit more pop with that.
A completely different shade, or?
I'm going to go with Xerus purple. It's kind of dark, but it should still pop. Yeah, there we go. I'm going to stick all that on, and then I'm going to use a couple of people who put heater over it.
That's all pretty last.
I don't think I'm going to be far away from tabletop. So we've got 27 minutes. Do you have like a favorite color beholder?
Say again?
Do you have like a favorite color beholder?
No, because that is the bane I had this morning of trying to think of a color scheme. because the other problem with it when I think of beholders, I think of cacodemons. So I try and stay away from like reds and stuff like that. But I like a red beholder.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
fair enough. So
I'm gonna have to go. Pinks and purples are pretty top.
Yeah, I agree with that. So Anthony R says, I know nothing about D&D and I'm completely new. Where would someone start? I would suggest osmosis, like learn through watching somebody's campaign or like watching a show, because you might find that you're not into it, and that's completely cool too. I think the big name is Crit Roll, right? Yeah. And I would suggest campaign 2, the Mighty Nine. Start there. That's so many people are into that. It's a good starting point. If not, High Rollers, Erois, their campaign 2, amazing place to start. And if not, try Pathfinder. And again, a good place to start is Gatewalkers from the Glass Cannon podcast or the Glass Cannon Network. Obviously, Pathfinder comes from D&D. It basically is D&D. It's just Paizo went another way with it. Yeah, I think that's the best way to go. I really like Pathfinder. I'm a huge fan, but start with like.
If you'd rather something more space-like instead of fantasy sword and shield and whatnot, check out Starfinder and check out Dragonborn Industries Starfinder actual play campaign, and you won't be disappointed.
Well, I will take that, and thank you very much, Richard. Yeah, so we run a sci-fi variant of D&D called Starfinder, which comes from Pathfinder, and yeah, that's what our main flagship show. If not, we have our horror D&D show, which is running tonight on Dragonborn Industries, which is our Bloodpunk campaign. We're on episode 19. So feel free, if you want to follow along, just hit follow. If you want to subscribe, hit subscribe. That's absolutely fine too. We're not going to complain. But I would start with watching somebody else's, because you might find that like you're really into it from the word go, or you might take 6 or 7 episodes to be like, oh, cool, I get it.
Critical Role Campaign 2 will be the best place to start, though, for D&D.
I think so. That High Rollers, I'm always a fan of how they started Campaign 2. Was incredible. Okay, so I've got the purple on now. So far, this is the throne.
Perfect.
Which is just a dry brush of gold over black and then the purple airbrushed on there. I'm now going to try and get into that eye. In fact, no, I'm not. I'm going to take Slanesh Grey and I'm going to paint the rest of the highlights on that mouth. Spice says, I recommend Glass Cannon. Yeah, we're both fans, Spice, I know. Troy LaValle is by far my favourite GM. I absolutely adore him. He's so fucking funny. They have good banter over there as well. I really like.
Must remember, don't stretch out with that arm, Richard, you pillock. Oh.
How are you finding the injury now?
I've got most of the movement back, mainly sort of the back of the elbow and where I've damaged my shoulder as well. But it's the weird strength things that the pain has lessened when I'm trying to pick things up. So I can pick up a cup of tea now, and I'm starting to be able to pick up heavier things. But weird movements, twinge slightly still.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I'm going to be physio for 6 months to a year. So before I'm even back to sort of anywhere near my old strength in the arm, sort of thing.
Yeah. And Nadpod, I actually don't know that. Hubert. Oh, Hubert in Gatewalkers is great, like an NPC. Joe and Troy have the best chemistry. Yeah, I really like their chemistry, but I actually really like when they set Skid off laughing, or when like Kate gets in on it, or when somebody's missing a session and they just fucking rip their character to bits. It's fucking, because it's so rare, it's just hilarious. They're a great place to start for Pathfinder. They really are. Okay, I'm going to need some whites for the eye. How are you going to do the eye? Like...
So I'm going to do my base coat in the eye for the base color, and I'm literally going to try and make it as realistic as possible, adding little different colors to the, because you've got all the like the lines and stuff in the eye. Where's mine gone? Where the fuck have I put it? That's the other thing. There it is. So I've glued mine to a wee stick. So I don't know if you can see it on there, the grooves in the eye.
No, not on yours. I'll see if I can bring it up on mine. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, just going to build up on colours in that and getting like a nice sort of thick black in the middle, and then build up with some of that water resin stuff, sort of
nice.
to fill out the top of the eye.
That's cool. So, yeah, and I think Anthony, if at that point you're like, yeah, I can see myself getting into this, I'd like to try a game, either try your local game store or just see if there's anybody out of like close friends who wants to kind of put one together, or maybe is already in a game. Loads of people are playing these days. That's probably the best way to do it. Not Another D&D podcast is my Murph of Dimension 20, and it's run by Murph of Dimension 20, and it's comedy but also super well done D&D campaigns. Nice. Yeah, I know of Not Another D&D podcast, but I haven't heard it yet. Dimension 20 I really like. I do love Brennan Lee Mulligan. I think he's pretty good. Yeah. You'll also find that different podcasts will like hit different with you. There'll be ones that you really like and ones that you're like, meh. And I think if you can get to know, it's almost like getting to know the players as well as the characters. Okay, you're going to add some white to the outside of the eyeball. So I'm just trying not to go over onto anything else. There we go. That'll be popping a little bit better. So I need to get those teeth, I think. It takes a minute to, let's have a look. I never like the podcast when I first start, but after a few sessions, I usually stick with them and I fall in love. Yeah, I'm the same. And I actually found that like even things like Crit Roll, it always feels so slow because obviously you're watching a show, but it's not like you're watching a TV show. You've got to remember that these guys are discovering their own characters. They're discovering each other. So you've got to remember you're watching a gameplay. So it does start a little slow, but once you are invested in somebody's character or you start picking up on things, it really picks up. I need some quick feedback. Welcome in, by the way, Super Foxer Y. Would you give a player the ability to haste all the allies they wish in battle permanently until the battle ends in exchange for 1 point of exhaustion per hastened ally?
No.
But consider that, like, the person who's casting that, what they're losing with exhaustion, because I think this comes down to a counterspell and Silvery Bob's argument that people are like, oh, I hate Silvery Bobs, I hate counterspell. Well, they're giving up a reaction and a spell slot to cast it. I really like them. I think it's completely within it. So I think if you had like an ancient relic that allowed you to do that, because bear in mind, if you go down the exhausted track, you can end up dead. Usually,
it is a great bit, thing. But then you've got to think of what you're giving every single other player. It depends how many players you've got. If you've got 3 players, it's a bit different. If you've got 6 players on the table, that means you'll have 5 hasted players, all with an additional 2 armor class, all with an additional action each round.
Is that with the new 2024 rules?
Yeah, I believe so.
So I don't know haste for 2024, but exhaustion is pretty bad.
Yeah, well, they've changed exhaustion as well.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. So if you were to go to exhaustion 6, you would die. That's the same. So for the first level, D20 test effect. When you make a D20 test, the roll is reduced 2 times by your exhaustion level. Is that right? You're not just rolling at disadvantage. Okay, no, the actual rules. It's interesting because you've got to consider what that player is giving up and what the others are gaining.
And what monsters you got on the board.
If they do it once, they're going to do it again. That's the problem.
Exactly.
Yes, I mean, like Captain Spy says, I would allow it rule of cool. They better role play it well. But again, it's going to turn into, oh, I did it that time and then doing it again. I would also say, whatever you can do, enemies can pretty much do as well. So there is that side of things. That's why I like rule crit rules as like max damage roll again. That's a really interesting question. So where are they getting this haste from? Is it from an item? Is it a one-off? Is it a just using the haste spell? Yeah, where's the haste coming from? I think that's going to settle a decision for me. Because what, haste is what, level? 5th level?
3rd, I think.
Yeah, level 3, transmutation. Gains +2 bonus to armor class, has advantage on dexterity, saving throws, and gains additional action each of its turns. The action can be used to take only the attack action, dash, disengage, hide, or utilize action. When the spell ends, the target is incapacitated and has a speed of 0. It is concentration. So, like, if it was coming from the haste spell and it's concentration, I'd be like, yeah, cool, you're going to take 3 levels of exhaustion. I would then gun after that spellcaster and make sure that all of them are then going to end up with 0 speed. That could be devastating.
That could be a party killer. It could be your big boss is killed in a round.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, I would definitely need to know more. I'm trying to paint all these little buttons in the cushions. There we go. Don't know if they'll show up.
Sweet, I like that.
Yeah, haste spell as I understand it, Captain Spice. Yeah, I think so too. If it's the haste spell, then maybe, but I'd be careful.
If it's just a standard spell, then no, you'd have to stick to the rules, because the problem is you then open yourself up for things later on with other spells, just standard. Oh, can I do this? Can I do this?
See, I don't mind that as much. Like, I think that's kind of part of the whole world building I'm doing on. But like,
it depends what your party's like and what the sort of thing they would say and would go for.
Go too far. I think it does lead to a dangerous road if somebody is all take, no give. Or conditionally, that player can only do it once per campaign, says Splice. And again, that could be down to like environment. It could be down to anything else. I like the idea of it. What if it was just for one party member? Well, for one party member, they don't gain exhaustion because that's part of the spell. With how it works, it's a lot of magic. I mean, I'd be tempted if I did it to be like, okay, it's happening. You're getting the exhaustion, and I want you to burn a spell slot per ally.
Per person.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just being too harsh. But like,
well, no, it's not something I would let happen easily, because the problem is it's one of those situations that, you know, there's the mechanics and the stuff for a reason in certain aspects. They're basically asking to be able to cast multiple haste spells, have multiple concentrations all at once.
Yeah. I'm inclined to agree.
You know, yes, getting the exhaustion is a thing, but does it outweigh what could happen to, you know, the balance of the fight?
Yeah, I actually agree with you on that. I think that's what's going to sway it for me. It is having your cake and eating it too, isn't it?
You know, if it was a case of it as a situational thing, you happen to be on a power node in some random magic place or in a magic plane where you could tap into something and have a one-off biblical moment, then fuck yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting though, because obviously it's a very interesting question, one that ponders good thought.
Oh yeah, it does make you really consider a lot of things, but then it is a case of the almost gives you too much to consider sometimes, because you've got to think of fucking every aspect of it.
Yeah, I think you're right there. Yes, that's why spell slot per ally down. I was like, yeah, I think Richard's right. It's just so much. You're gaining so much more from it, as well as like a +2 to like AC. That alone, actually, consider what a monster needs to roll.
Advantage on deck saves, so which will knock out any of your area of effect spells and stuff like that.
Yeah. That dual action as well.
Yeah.
Melee classes just going in hell for leather. I think that's the thing with D&D as well. Is I know like the game is supposed to be like played as a yes and. I disagree. I think sometimes it's a no, but.
Yeah. No, but solid idea, but unfortunately that quite wouldn't work.
Yeah, I think D&D is more open to fucking with the rules than things like Pathfinder and Starfinder and other TTRPGs are. I think it leaves itself open to a lot of GM discretion, which again is fine. We've all been there. Whereas I think with Pathfinder and stuff, it's very much like this is written in a very specific way.
Yeah, there's no dancing around it or tiptoeing.
Yeah, I've just got yellow on a bit I didn't want yellow on.
That's a little fucker.
Spice says, okay, I'm convinced. It shouldn't be too bad. Okay, so I've decided to go yellow on the eyes.
Oh, nice.
I still need to get those teeth. So we've got 7 minutes. What's everyone's plans for the rest of the day? Including you, Richard.
I'm going to try and sell some shit.
Nice. Got kids are off school now for the holidays, so I'm going to take the dog for a walk, take them out, and then I'm going to come back.
I was expecting you to go, the kids are on holidays now, so I'm going to go and take the dog out for a walk so I don't have to see them.
No, my kids are all right. We've actually been playing, me and my eldest have been playing Resident Evil, the board game.
Oh yeah,
fucking great playing it with him. Like he really is good at board games, so he like remembers all like the turn orders and stuff. It's been really quite fun. I thought it might be a bit too intense for him, but actually it's been really something else.
Still got my fingers crossed for a #1 remake.
What, the game?
Yeah.
They did it?
No, a remake. A PS5 remake.
I was going to say, like, the PS4 remake was actually really good.
They did a GameCube remake, which is the reason I bought a GameCube when I was younger, and it was fucking brilliant.
I think you should check out the one that's on there. It might be all right for you.
Oh, I've got them all on Steam.
Oh, okay, cool.
Resident Evil 0, the 1, the remake, and that.
Yeah, you've got the teeth going in now as well.
Fuck yeah. Love that purple and blue though, dude.
Thank you. I think I'm going to try and get some pink on the tongue. I'm planning on getting as much done on Grey's minis as I can whilst doing household chores and putting up some trells. But I might also do none of it. Yeah. We're playing Marvel Rivals with the Alberon team today. Nice. Joe works from home and will be we definitely will be gaming today. Nice. Yeah, I've got to get the studio ready for Bloodpunk in a bit. But I'm pretty sleepy.
I might try and do a bit more painting on this afternoon as well.
Nice. Are your kids off school now as well?
Yeah, both mine are off now. Eldest had a couple of extra days this week, much to his chagrin.
What, in or out?
He was in school Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but he had extra teacher training days in the school term.
Yeah.
So it was swings and roundabouts for him and learning about that.
Mine was supposed to be in for both of the days, but our car broke down, and it was like, well, I guess you're not in for the last 2 days.
Never mind.
So, but I think he was actually kind of gutted about that because they had essentially party days.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes it's nice to get the old party days because they used to be good fun.
Right. Sure, some airbrush cleaner in that one now. I mean, I think I could say this is sort of tabletop ready. Still need to just dull down the tongue a little bit with something. It says it's a pretty picturesque day in Massachusetts. Should probably go and touch grass. Yeah, it's pretty warm here. It's quite nice. Sweet. What is that? Sweet Melody. Hey, mate. I love your stream and enjoy being part of your fan community. Would you mind adding me up on Discord? Username is Snake Attack S5. So if you go to our About, there should be like a Discord link in there. Just click on that and you can get in. Obviously, just check on the rules. And thank you very much for being part of the shows and community.
Oh, fucking yeah.
Yeah, if you literally have the box open, I think you can go to About, and there should be like a box you can click in the About that says Discord, and it'll take you straight there.
You've got to be following Warrior Prince on Instagram as well.
Do it. Yeah, so I'm going to throw a little bit more blue on that tongue.
You gonna do more blue on the tongue?
See if it'll go in. So I've actually thrown in a contrast thin down to go into the recesses of it.
Love it. I'm trying to pick out bits and little bits on this pink around the mouth and stuff with a wash. Just getting into some of the edgier places. Don't know if you can see that. How do I get on the right thing so I can...
Oh, look at that. That's horrid. I love the grey against the flesh. That's amazing.
I've managed to get it so that you still got like in the base of the grey, you can still just about see some of the pink, the flesh colour.
Yeah, that's horrid in a good way.
Beautifully so.
Okay.
It's gonna have to be dry brush with something as well, I think, just to bring out the pinkiness.
So, on the throne.
Fuck yeah. Dude, I love what you've done with that. The blue and purple just pop like a motherfucker.
And that will absolutely do for me. I'm going to say that's tabletop ready. You got 35 seconds. Can you get there?
Say again, I've got how long?
35 seconds. 30 seconds.
Oh, yeah, fucking no problems.
Thank you very much, Spice. I wonder if like the Discord link will come up.
So does it come up on the bot?
It should do, but we had to change it because it was coming up every other sentence, and now it's not doing it.
No, it's not coming up at all.
That's your timer, your hour. Let's see if. I'm going to get you the link now.
Oh, Master Ian is getting hold of a link. If anyone watching this would like to get hold of a beholder, either something like this that we've been painting, or I have a large selection of them, to be honest, quite a few, drop me a message on Instagram or drop a message through Ian to find out any of my contacts and let me know. You can sort out multiple sizes if you fancy something a little bit bigger as a showpiece, or if you fancy an actual table piece and a showpiece, just let us know and we can sort you out.
Yeah, please do. So, 1 hour, Richard. Obviously, I don't think you touched the throne at all, did you?
I didn't touch the throne at all. I don't know if you can see the eye stalks over here. They're all drying and are on the way to being done. Mostly what I got done was
bring you up.
Bring the right thing up so I can actually tell what I'm bloody doing.
Oh, look at that. I really like that color choice. That's awesome. Oh, that's very, very awesome, actually.
So not bad in an hour.
No, I think that's amazing for an hour. I went straight down the airbrush for the blues underneath, and then
I fucking love that though. I really love the blue and white on the top.
So I'll go solo layout so I can actually show it off. There we go.
Show it off properly. That's it.
I still haven't got the black in the eye. Actually, I've realised that now, but it'll certainly do. I could do with putting some more details on things like the back eye stalk on the chair and the front one, but I don't think that's overly necessary for tabletop ready. That will absolutely do for an hour. I think I might have, pre-thinking about it, chosen a different choice of purple between the mouth and the throne. Maybe gone a bit more pink or fleshy in the mouth, but still happy with where that's gone. Yeah. So that is the Beholder, all done and dusted. To which end, thank you everyone who's been here in chat. Please go check out Warrior Prince 3D. Obviously, their new website will be up soon, but if not, go check out their Instagram, go follow along, and just, if you need anything, go check them out. Otherwise, Dragonborn Industries should be back to its regular scheduling. So we've got Blood Month tonight, and then we'll be back for Orion's Hope House Starfinder actual play on Monday. I believe we're painting potentially with Craig over on Dragonsport Studios on Saturday.
Oh, yes. I've missed too many of them, so I definitely need to get over and hang out with Craig.
Yeah, for sure. Otherwise, thank you so very much, guys. We're going to disappear now. Have yourselves a fantastic day, and may those dice gods be ever in your favor. Take it easy.